Hello, BookTube. I'm continuing on with 28 Days of SF, and this is day 18, Shelf 18, and just finishing up with some Clifford Simak nonfiction material. And he wrote a little book here called Prehistoric Man: The Story of Man's Rise to Civilization. This is the hardcover. It's sunned on the spine, sadly. Would be nice to replace it with a proper one, but they're not easy to get. This was published in 1971 by St. Martin's Press. Illustrations by Murray Tinkelman, and it's just a general history of that, like going through exactly what it says: the story of man's rise to civilization. And another one here, Trilobite, Dinosaur and Man, the Earth Story, so geological history with some paleontology. And again, this is, I thought it was, no, it's actually Macmillan. This is the UK edition from 1967. And yeah, it's just exactly what it goes through the periods: Precambrian, Cambrian, Ordovician, Silurian, Devonian, Mississippian, Pennsylvania, and so on and so forth, going through the periods. And this is Wonder and Glory, the Story of the Universe. And this is the American edition, St. Martin's Press, The Story of the Universe, published in 1969. And yeah, it's an astronomy, sort of from the time, and very general as well. Now we get a collection of reading. Just from the title, From Atoms to Infinity: Readings in Modern Science. This is edited by Clifford Simak, and this was published Harper and Row, 1965. Now it's got an essay by Clifford Simak, several on mathematics by Isaac Asimov, meteorology by Harry Wexler, Francis C. Hibben for archaeology, Isaac Asimov again for two essays on the Earth, Willy Ley for rockets and satellites, plasma physics, John Chapman, and Isaac Asimov again, the atom, and Victor Cohn for cancer, the cell, viruses, chemistry against cancer, and cancer epidemiology. And these, I believe, like the other one we saw, were published, or some of them were published in his newspaper, the Minneapolis Star and Tribune, I believe. There's one more nonfiction book that I don't have, is our the Solar System, our new front yard, I think it is, or backyard. That's one I still need to get, and that's proving elusive, and when I do see it, extremely pricey. But it is something that I do want to get to complete my Simak collection. Now we move on to another favorite, I would say author, but I haven't read anything more than 4 books and three sort of short stories, novelettes by him. So, but one of my favorite cycle of books is the Hyperion Cantos, and this is an omnibus of the first 2 Hyperion books, Hyperion and the Fall of Hyperion. Hyperion was originally published in 1989, and The Fall of Hyperion in 1990. I've wanted to get this omnibus for quite a while, and I did get it last summer when I was rereading Hyperion again. And because Hyperion and Fall of Hyperion were meant really to be one novel, so it's nice to have them in an omnibus form there. And I've talked about it before, quite. I don't know if you would say extensively, but it's a sprawling on the surface space opera, but then it's like an onion. You can peel away the layers. You've got history, you've got philosophy, religion. It's time spanning. It's just everything in one, and it's a joy to read. But I do have a first edition of The Fall of Hyperion. And it's got a wraparound cover, which I'm not sure if I can properly see there with the... and this is at the Time Tombs with the Shrike. This was published, as I said, in 1990. This is a Foundation Books Doubleday. And, yeah, 1990. March 1990. First edition. A smaller hardcover. And then I have the third one, Endymion, in hardcover. Sadly, some spine fading, sun fading on the spine. Now, this was a shock to me when I got it, because I only paid, I don't know if I paid any shipping for it, but I know it was under £3. And I bought this in, I think, around 2014, 2015, when I reread Hyperion again, along with Dune and the Foundation, Isaac Asimov's Foundation books, and a lot of other stuff. But when I got it, it was signed by Dan Simmons, and I've verified the signature, and it's a real signature, and it is Dan Simmons' signature, as far as I can tell. Somebody sold it without realizing it. So now, when I say that I've read only the Hyperion Cantos, but I've also read some short stories, and here is like sort of two precursor stories, I guess you would say, for the Hyperion Cantos. This is Prayers to Broken Stones. It's a limited edition, and I bought this saying that it was in perfect condition, and it comes, faded on the spine, so I was not happy at this, but I did get a massive discount on it. It is signed. It's a deluxe first edition of Prayers and Broken Stones, limited 550 individually signed and numbered copies. This copy, it says PC, so I don't know. It's not really numbered, but it's signed by Dan Simmons, Val Lakey Lindum, and Ron Lindum. And it's Dark Harvest. Illustrations, that's Ron Lindum and Val Lakey Lindum. Introduction by Harlan Ellison. And it's in a slipcase, but yeah, it was not the condition that the seller, and they were really funny about it. They're going, oh, in all my 40 years of selling, this has never happened to me. And I'm going, really? Well, you did not look at it properly. Yeah, anyway. But I bought it because being wanting to have sorry, I'm just putting my phone on vibrate here, silent. Because I had it in paperback, and that's where I originally read it, and it has the two original stories, as I say, Remembering Siri, which is almost verbatim the Consul story in Hyperion. But there is a precursor one called The Death of the Centaur, which is, it has interesting comparisons to Hyperion, and there's a lot of little bits and pieces in there. But this is a little paperback, Bantam paperback, I think. Yeah, Bantam. Again, it's an introduction by Harlan Ellison. And this was May 1992, and the other one was published in 1990, if I didn't say. And then there is a final sort of prequel, no, not prequel, a sequel, but a short story or a novella, and it's in Robert Silverberg's Far Horizons. And this is the UK edition of it, which Yeah, but anyway, it's 11 Masters of Science Fiction return to their legendary worlds. And it's got, it was published, this is Orbit, 1999. And it's got Ursula K. Le Guin, Joel Haldeman, Orson Scott Card, David Brin, Robert Silverberg himself, Dan Simmons for the Hyperion Cantos, Nancy Kress, Frederick Pohl, Gregory Binford, Anne McCaffrey, and Greg Bear. And it's a really, I enjoyed it as a sequel. It sort of opened it up, and this is 24 years ago or 25 years ago that he wrote this, and it opened it up for more of the Hyperion Cantos. That has not happened. Will it happen? Well, doubtful, but it would be nice. But this is I'd like to get the American edition, even though they're not very good looking. But this is just badly made. It's the pages are browning already. Yeah. So, but it's cheap to get. Now we move on to the next sort of big series that I like, which is Dune. And last summer, before I moved, this was sent to me, the box set. Guess I'll turn it that way. Beautiful artwork, but poorly made, constructed books. Now I'll take them out individually and then show the box off as well. I do have an edition of this anyway, because this was published first. Beautiful, beautiful artwork on it, and end papers as well. Just beautiful, beautifully done, but badly made. It's got stained edges, which already has fingerprints on it by the looks of it. This was originally published in 1965 by Chilton publishers, Chilton Books or whatever they were called at that time. And also very prone to be damaged. These have already flakes along the edge. It was given to me because it was a bit of a damaged copy that was purchased by the person who sent it to me, and they were told to keep it. It's the kind of thing you don't buy from Amazon, because Amazon is definitely going to send you damaged copies if you want nice copies, but it has a bit of ding in the corner. Let's see here. Let's put those there. Then we got Dune Messiah. Again, just wonderful, wonderful artwork on these, but again, just badly made. Like, I don't know, the staining is just, yeah, anyway. Then we got, the end papers again that are just beautiful. And even there's, on the back as well. We've got nicely done, but just, crappy paper covered boards. The cost of this is ridiculous for the bad quality that it's made. It's beautiful, but yeah. And then Children of Dune. Again, just beautiful, beautiful artwork. Nice end papers. They're the same on front and back. Oh no, there isn't. Sorry. They are different, or at least on here. I'll check the other ones. I thought they were the same. And then there's on the back. Let's just pull it out. I'll redo this on all of them. So there you go. That's the back of the jacket, and then we'll do that properly for the front. The letters are embossed as well. Like I say, it's a nice design, or at least the artwork is nice, but the execution of it and the quality is poor. So let's go back to do these in reverse order. Dune Messiah. And there's the inside of the dust jacket, which is fabulous. And then the full outside. Again, embossed lettering. And let's see here. Let's pick it up. like I showed the end papers, the front end papers there, and the back end papers. As I said, I didn't realize till now that they were different. And we'll do the same with the first one just to show it all. See, it's squared. Like the binding is poorly done, very badly done. But there's the inside. Yeah, you can get it all there. And the front, again, embossed lettering. Except on the spine, that's on the front panel, it's embossed. And the front end papers again, and the back end papers, and they're all stained as well. And once I get the jacket back on this, I will show you the slip case, which is nice to have, but as I say, it's more for looks than quality. So yeah, this has, see, you can see the split in the box, and this is the design on the top, and we've got even on the bottom. Not sure which I've showed yet, but I think that's that side. That's the back, books 1 to 3, and I assume they're going to do the other volumes as well. And it's, like I say, it's a beautiful set, visual wise, but just poorly made. Okay, and as I say, I already had a copy of this that I bought, and it just came damaged. Amazon is crap. If you want anything in really good shape, you don't buy from Amazon. Golan's here in the UK have put out, and they're putting out the Dune Messiah as well. I think they're going to go all through in this kind of design. It took me a while to get used to it, but I actually do like it. To be fair, I kind of like this design now. And the end papers, and I believe the end papers are the same on both. So you get the worm there. No, again, the end papers are different on the back. Worm as well. And this was put out by Golan's here in the UK, and as I say, I know the Dune Messiah is being put out, so I guess they'll go right through. And I do like this thing, and the quality isn't much. It's slightly better than the American version for making, but the paper probably is worse and it'll brown. But it does have a little ribbon for bookmark ribbon, and it's got, you know, the ribbons at the top and bottom of the spines. You can see that, yeah, you can see the white ribbon cross there. It's not like it's the way it should be. All it is like these are glued pages, like a paperback, and then they just glue on the little ribbon at the top and the bottom. The way it's supposed to be is sewn into the signatures all the way through and made that way. Also, too, in 2015, as I say, when I started, when I reread everything, I thought, well, I wonder if I could get some hardcovers, you know, reprints and everything. So, and I saw these, the British edition hardcovers, and I thought, oh, I like the artwork on these. And they were an okay price. And this was described as, this is Heretics a Dude, and it was described as new or perfect condition. And it's not. It's just, it's a book club associates, which was okay. But It was published in 1984. But the paper is, it's got a stab through it and scratches on everything. Just again lying by the publishers. But I kind of like the artwork on there. Jacket illustration by Jim Burns. But the paper is poor and browning. But I've kept them, and I've got as well Chapter House Dune. Again, the artwork's not perfect, but I do kind of like it, though. That's the thing. It's a little different. This is Guild Publishing as well. Sort of, it's a book club type or cheaper edition. It's edition published in 1985 by Book Club Associates. And again, the paper is browning. It's brown, as you can see. I have the space on the shelf for them now. I'll have to probably at some point make a decision, and I might just wind up keeping the jackets and tossing the books, or giving them away, in other words. Now, continuing on with Frank Herbert, and I have shown this before, Cedric Jackson, the Clifford Simak short stories, and this is the best of Frank Herbert, and this was published, Cedric and Jackson, as I say, 1975, I guess. Yeah, 1975. And it's got an introduction. Seeing if it tells me who did the introduction. It's Frank Herbert that did the introduction to this. So we've got in here the short stories. They're chronological. They go by year all the time in all these Cedric and Jackson. So again, 1952, Looking for Something. 54, Nightmare Blues. 56, Dragon in the Sea. That's an extract from his first novel. 1958, Ceasefire. 1960, Eggs and Ashes. 1964, Mary Celeste Move. 1965, Committee of the Whole. And then in 1965, we got an extract from Dune. 1966, By the Book. 1966, again, The Primitives. 1967, an extract from Heaven Makers. 1969, The Being Machine. 1970, Seed Stock. I'm just curious to see. I don't know if I actually ever looked, because I always skip the extracts usually. 173. I wonder if it's the banquet scene. No, it's not. I thought it might be. But there's introductory material by Angus Wells on some of the stories, if not all of them. So yeah, there you go. A couple more books. Frank Herbert here. This is a book club edition. I'd like to get a proper edition of this someday if I'm not searching for it, but this is The Road to Dune, Frank Herbert, Brian Herbert, and Kevin J. Anderson. And as I say, it's a book club, and it's by Tor. It's got some god-awful and marker. I don't mind things like that, but yeah, this is a lot. And on new books, I dislike that as well. Old books, it's nice to see. So what we've got here is we've got letters saying introduction, deleted scenes, sort of drafts. His first attempt, sort of called Spice Planet, of this, and it just goes through all the sort of excerpts and short story, and then there's some actually short stories that are part of the Dune sort of saga as well. And then, as getting into Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson, they've continued on, as everybody knows, with the Dune saga, and I think they've kept it where there's trilogies for each. Like, he's got like a trilogy for the houses. This is House Harkonnen. This is the American edition. Yeah, Bantam Books. This was published in 2000. But it is signed by Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson. My brother picked this up for me. Well, he got it signed by them and then sent it to me about 15 plus years ago. And I've never read it. I've never read any of the Brian Herbert ones. Someday I would like to actually read through them, but I don't have any plans on doing that anytime soon. So there's my, I guess you would say, Lester Simax, Dan Simmons, and Frank Herbert bookshelf. And tomorrow we'll be back with more general authors. Thank you, BookTube.